Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds, stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, live from Acme Oyster House. Welcome to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood. The Mike Bloomgren Show is brought to you by The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, lighting up Rice University and Houston for over 100 years. Now, alongside Coach Bloomgren, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
We are back here at Acme Oyster House, 1201 Westheimer. What a day. How about those Rice Owls? Victorious over the Louisiana Ragin' Cajun. I can call them U-La-La now. And the nation's longest winning streak done thanks to the Rice Owls. Big win, 33-21 over those Ragin' Cajuns. We are at Acme Oyster House. Here's the Red Beans and Rice University. Acme Oyster House, a proud sponsor of Rice Owls football. And you get a fried seafood platter, shrimp po' boy, dozen char-grilled oysters. Acme, best little oyster house in Texas. It is going to be a fun show. Another star-studded lineup. We have Ikenna Inachukwu and Josh Piercy, kind of the bookends, that defensive line for the Rice Owls. And what a day it was. Kismet just worked out perfect timing. Wish I could say that we planned this months ago or just yesterday, but defensive coordinator Brian Smith, after that great defensive performance for those Rice Owls, not to give away all the great info for the show, but where'd you put that, JP? Yes, the fewest yards allowed by a Rice defense in 9 years. What a job. That Rice defense. It was quite the game. And we also, of course, preview those the team across town. Sorry, Coach. And the 44th meeting, 41st to decide the Bayou Bucket. They fell to Kansas. Watched most of that game, actually, earlier today. Great early part of that game that Kansas pulled away and won, but no love lost between these two. We'll talk about that. Big, long road trip down just off Cullen. And Nate, Jason, Walter, and I have that broadcast, the Owls Game Day app, riceowls.com, 4:30 Houston Methodist pregame, 5 o'clock on ESPN+. And if you'd like to match us up, you can go to syncmygame.com to match our audio with the video. We also have the in-booth feed. Tell your grandma, tell your uncle. We're on the Owls Facebook and YouTube pages as well, just like tonight. Hello, folks. We have some folks watching in. Rousing success we have with the streams here, with these shows and the games, giving you all that content. But enough of me yapping. As I always say, back we have Dunleavy family head football coach Mike Bloomgren coming up next. Back at Acme Oyster House, more of the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield. Back in a moment.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the Talking Spokes Oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is sleeping. You know, we oysters like our pets. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char-grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
Build it, price it, own it. Shoppers and John Deere makes it as easy as 1, 2, 3 to get the John Deere tractor of your dreams. Number 1, go to shoppers at sfstractor.com. Select the John Deere tractor you want, add the attachments you need. Number 2, select your terms, see the price along with monthly payments, and apply for financing. Number 3, buy your John Deere tractor from Shoppers, and Shoppers will deliver it for free. Shoppers makes it that easy to purchase your John Deere tractor. Build it, price it, own it. Only at Shoppers. All things John Deere.
We interrupt your top 40 hits to issue this alert from the Karbach Brewing Company. In our efforts to brew our distinct and popular Hopadillo IPA, we have unwittingly created a monster with an insatiable thirst, a monster that will not stop until it gets what it wants, an ice-cold Hopadillo IPA, just like the one I'm holding in my hand. Bold, flavorful, dry-hopped, irresistible, sweet Mary! Hopadillo. Find it before it finds you. Bravely brewed in Texas by the Karbach Brewing Company.
Owl fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Highlighting the Owls on the gridiron. Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show.
Yes. Back here at Acme Oyster House, they have the massive clap. You can clap anytime. I don't mind whatsoever. They got Astros on the big screen. We are guesstimating like 15 feet. It is a massive screen. Got 2 Monday Night Football games in action tonight. Great sports, great grub. Had to inhale a few meat pies before some jambalaya later on after the extravaganza. Dunleavy family head football coach of our Rice House, Mike Bloomgren. Good evening, sir. How are we doing?
Doing great, man.
Yeah. The fun is in the winning. Yeah. You're working on me, coach, because I kept thinking about that. Man, this is fun. So fun's in the winning. I know you're moving on to the team across town a little bit here, but how fun was it getting that one?
It was awesome. It was such a great reward for the kids for the way they've worked, and also for these coaches. You know, like guys like those two kids sitting at the table, guys like Coach Smith that have been here since day one, like the work that's been put in, and it was a lot of fun. I think it was a lot of fun for our administration that's put in a lot of work and put in a lot of resources to help us get to this point. And again, I've been really clear. Like, these aren't mountaintop experiences, but they sure are fun in the moment. And it's great for these guys to get paid for all their hard work. And the opportunity to be in that victory locker room after the game and watch them celebrate, and that was awesome.
Yeah, TJ told us after the game. We'll talk more about him in a second, but you got the 24-hour rule. Is it even that for you all, or do you kind of start sneaking a peek and doing some work that night? But I'm sure that day after still is fun too.
Yeah, it's all fun. I mean, everything's better when you win. Like, you know, my kids say I'm in a better mood. My wife looks better. Like, coaches are happier to be around me. I mean, everything's better. So there's no doubt about that. We're going to celebrate it. But bottom line is, like, that's what I told the team. Like, this win should give us great confidence in ourselves, great confidence in each other. But it should also give us confidence in the preparation that we do and in the way that we practice, and understand that that's what led to that win.
You snapped the longest winning streak in the nation at 15 games. It is no more. How'd you do it? What was the big formula? It wasn't pretty, but that's how you liked to play. That you took them into deep water, and your type of formula, was it not?
Yeah, I mean, play by play is how we did it. These guys living in the moment, living and dying in each moment, each opportunity they're able to be on the field and playing for each other. There was no magic sauce. But the thing that I thought was so unbelievable is, as poorly as we played offensively in the first half, our defense just kept us in the game. We've all been here for games where the score would have been 30-0 at halftime if we had played that poorly offensively. And Coach Smith has really put in this mantra on defense of sudden change, can't wait. This is our opportunity to be great. This is our opportunity to stand up for the team. And that's what you saw on Saturday. And then once offense got it together and TJ started playing pretty good football, then it was kind of all three phases clicking in that second half. And that was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, you told Jason at halftime, TJ can't get sped up. And then after the game, TJ told Jason, hey, I slowed down. I didn't get sped up. And he said, like, even up the ramp going to Patterson, I knew what I had to do. So how big was that flip of the script, if you will, in that second half for TJ?
Yeah, it's hard to play this game without a quarterback participating for your team, right? And that's a stretch, because honestly, like, the quarterback, we talked about this today in the team meeting too, the quarterback gets the final say-so. He gets to decide if he releases that ball because he trusts what he sees. And so ultimately he's responsible for those interceptions. But two of them were situations where our tight end or our receiver really didn't do what they should have done and put him in a bad situation. And the timing, depth, and trust of every route is something we got to continue to work on and continue to harp on with our team. so that we're all doing our jobs and making it easier for our quarterback. It's no different than the line having to work together to give the quarterback time, or on defense, we always talk about it all the time, right? The rush and the coverage work together. And when you're covering well, you get a lot of sacks. When you're hitting the quarterback, somehow you end up covering a lot better, So those things all work together. And but yeah, I'm really pleased that TJ was able to settle down. I think Coach Tui did a great job with him at halftime, as well as giving him things that he was very comfortable with coming out. Got that thing rocking a little bit and got the confidence really started to soar. And he made a few really big plays. But, statistically, you mentioned the defensive performance, which was absolutely outstanding. But offensively, to end up at 60% on third down, to end up 6 of 6 in the red zone, those are just numbers that work. And we converted every kicking attempt and scoring opportunity we had on special teams, and 6 of 6 kickoffs were touchbacks. So there's just so many things that are making the game just a little bit easier for everybody because everybody's doing their job.
Speaking of the field goals, and I didn't write it down. I've got my PDF here, so I didn't write it down, but a fan wanted me to ask about that situation where you had the field goal. Van Sickle would have had a 9-point lead at the time he made it. What was the thought process going? You had the 9, and eventually they commit the penalty, and then you ended up going by the final margin 12.
Yeah, for years and years, the old adage was don't take points off the board. But in this situation, when you're sitting there and you have the ball and you have the value to run the clock down, that ultimately is the only thing that could allow the other team to win. You're sitting there, you're up 6. And so if we could punch it in for a touchdown, as we did, now you separate and you've left them very little time on the clock. Worst case scenario, in theory, you run 3 more plays and then you kick another field goal and you've drained that much more clock. So that was the thinking. It's an analytical approach that is different than how I was raised with Coach Bowden. It's different than how I was raised reading books by Coach Bryant. But it is what the analytics books say to do when you're trying to close out games. We subscribe to this service called Championship Analytics, and they send you this unbelievable book for every game. And it is doing all the number crunching pregame because we're not allowed to use computers on the sideline in college football. It's something that hasn't happened. NFL, you're able to. In college football, you have to old school go through this paper book. You're up by so many. And so we have somebody on the sideline reading you all the different scenarios. And some of them come down to a decision, and that's one that came down to it. And obviously, like any decision that's critical at the end of the game, if it doesn't work, probably wasn't the right one. But when they work, I can sleep pretty good and know that, once again, I had the support of the numbers, and I also had the confidence in our team to get that done.
On the defensive side, speak to how the 175 yards, but it's the fewest yards allowed in 9 years. I remember that Tulane game when we played that. That was at home. But just how, overall, Georgia's pick and then they didn't have the ball that much. I'm getting ahead of but only 47 plays because you had the ball over 40 minutes. It was great complimentary football.
It was great complimentary football, and what a recipe to win when I think our offense had 87 plays, and did you say they had 46?
40-ish.
I thought maybe even 43.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, we possessed the ball 42 minutes, and in the second half, they had the ball for 6 minutes and 37 seconds, I believe, in the second half. Not the second quarter, not the third quarter, the second half. So you talk about just dominance, and that comes from 2 things. It comes from an efficient offense that's basically converting third downs, and then it also comes from a defense getting off the field on third down or creating turnovers. And in addition to the defense having that interception, they hit the passer 7 times. Like those 2 guys at the table were all over him, And in addition to that, they had 2 fourth down stops, which those are really like turnovers. Those changed the complexion of the game.
You've been so efficient in the red zone. Forgive me, I guess we can all look ahead to U of H in a little bit, but I was looking at you've been so successful in the red zone. It was like 14 to 15 or 15 to 60. Yeah, there you go. And punching it in. But on the defensive side, too, you're also allowing teams not to score as much in the red zone. So that's a great match when you're scoring it more efficiently and you're not allowing them to score as much efficiently.
Yeah, I think, you hear people talk about the game in some of the articles that were read, and it talks about a dominant performance. And when you look back again, definitely dominant from start to finish defensively, right? There's no combating, no debating that. But when you talk about just how the statistics ended up coming out after 4 quarters, it really is dominant in all 3 phases. And when you can be that way in situational football on third down, like you mentioned, and also in the red zone, it's just like you put the formula up there and you look at the results, the superlatives from the game as we talk about them, and it's like, yeah, you're probably going to win every game if they look like this. So Keep it coming, boys.
Saw a tweet from old Herbie that you guys were awarded one of the top teams, top 8, top 10 in the country. A lot of big games the last couple of weeks. What's that? What type of superlative that means, and what did the magnitude of that win mean to you after UAB and Marshall the past couple of years? If it's fair to rank something like that, what's all that acclaim mean?
Yeah, I think it's great for these players. I love seeing them get talked about for all their hard work, and I love seeing them have the success that leads to that. But again, it's what we're always going to talk about: process. Like, we don't get there but for. Okay, if we don't do the things during the week, if we don't prepare the right way, we don't get those results. So it's always going to be about us in the locker room. I do love it. I mean, I love that Herbie's talking about the Rice Owls. Like, that's a big deal, right? Like, I love getting those wins, whether it's those – whatever you called it, a big-time win, whatever it is. Those are awesome. Those are so fun to be a part of. But it's also not going to get us any points this weekend.
Talk about the wide receiving corps. First, Luke McCaffrey, season high, career high, 10 catches, season high, career high, goes over the 100-yard mark. You never know before a few games ago that he was never a receiver. He keeps saying that. I'm glad he keeps stacking better games on top of each other.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was you or Matt that asked me about when's he going to have his breakout game, and I was like, shoot, it could be tomorrow. Like, I mean, because I believe he's a big-time receiver, and I do still think there's a lot more that he can do. But, yeah, 10 catches, 105 yards, 2 tuds, numerous catches that move the sticks on third down. He's just somebody that TJ's got a great media factor with right now, but he's also running incredible routes. His first touchdown, he started almost like it was a slant and whipped back out, and he put the DB completely in the spin cycle. The guy almost fell down. And so it was just a ridiculous route. TJ had the time and found it for the touchdown. That was awesome.
Also sticking with the receiving corps, Isaiah Esdale, 4 catches. They all seemed to be, I think 3 of them were on third downs. One was big to our right in the first half. Nate, I'm going to blame this on him. He might be watching in. He calls him the old man because he's got the gray hair and the wisdom and whatnot. But how about where Isaiah's acclimated himself and adapted? He just finds those creases and him Luke too right in that zone, and he makes some big catches.
Yeah, absolutely. And his experience, he is the old man, you know, whether he's got the gray hair or not. But he's been very valuable to have in that room. And the combination of not only having Roz come back, but having the experience of Isaiah Esdale, adding Luke McCaffrey, and really getting to see the best of Kobe Campbell as Kobe continues to grow in this system. It's a pretty cool group.
All right, finally, let's talk about our guests he alluded to earlier. We have the Akini Nachukwu coming up next segment, and then the other JP, I guess the more known JP, Josh Piercy, after that. The bookends on the line, they do a little bit of the same thing in different ways. How about those guys?
Yeah, well, first off, when you talk about Ikenna, and, the thing that I want to make sure I say about him is he had a draftable grade to go to the NFL last year, and he chose to come back. He's like, Coach, I want to be back here. I want to play with my teammates. I want to do this again. And so that is literally somebody walking away from NFL money to come back here and play another year of college football. And he has one more left after this, and I'll remind him from time to time. But with what the scouts are saying about him right now and the fact that we have 4 or 5 scouts that practice every day, we're going to certainly do everything we can to support him on that venture. But I think it's awesome that he kind of chose to come back. I love the way he leads this group right now. I love the way he talks to the younger players. He addressed our freshmen one day, and he's like, guys, I've been there. Like, you have to commit yourself to this process and believe in everything that you're hearing from your coaches and Coach Straub. And because, again, like I think back, I had the opportunity to talk to Brian Smith with the Chronicle a few minutes ago, not our Brian Smith, but the writer Brian Smith. And he asked me about Ikenna's path. And, like, that's such a cool path. Like, we're the very green Ikenna was in year 1 and some of the growth that he had from year 1 to year 2. And then year 2 to year 3 was exponential, and then it just keeps getting better. And this is a guy that can play inside and can fight the battle at the 3 technique, has played the nose on downs for us. I think he's an NFL 5 technique. I think that's where he belongs. I think that's where he'll thrive. So, again, very dominant on that one edge, as you mentioned. And then Josh Piercy, the guy that I talk about that looks like the mannequin. I've said it before. Like, if I look like Josh Piercy, I'd never wear a shirt. And obviously I've got one on, so I don't look like Josh Piercy. But the play that he's producing right now, the pressure on the quarterback, the fact that he can drop and understand zones, like some of the things that he's doing NFL things in Coach Smith's NFL scheme. So it's awesome to see them both having production. Also, Josh Piercy was voted a special teams captain this year by our team. So anytime you're voted captain by your peers, that's pretty incredible.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Enjoy the grub. We'll talk again here.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Dunleavy family and football coach for Rice Owls, Mike Bloomer. We'll talk about Coach Holgerson's squad later on as we wrap the show. But stay tuned. Coming up next, Ikena Chuku joins us here. Back at Acme Oyster House, more of the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Build it, price it, own it. Go online and see Shoppers and John Deere's new way to get a John Deere tractor just the way you want it. Google Shoppers John Deere and let your John Deere tractor story begin. Build the tractor you want with the attachments you need to get your work done. Price it, no hidden costs, and financing options available for any budget. Own it, and Shoppers will deliver your John Deere tractor. Build it, price it, own it. It's Shoppers' new way to get the John Deere tractor you want your way. Shoppers, all things John Deere.
Doubletree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the medical center, the museum district, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the medical center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the Doubletree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is here. Howdy is an ice cream shop in Katy, Texas that makes ice cream in-house and has a unique mission to employ individuals that are differently abled. Stop by and enjoy some ice cream. With every scoop you buy, you help support employment for special needs. Coming to Rice Athletics venues in the fall.
Houston, we have a cocktail. All Hands Canned Cocktails are made with 6 times distilled craft vodka at a sturdy 10% ABV to ensure you never have to sacrifice the quality of your provisions. Now available in 6 natural flavors, including raspberry lemonade, ruby red grapefruit, cherry limeade, cranberry and vodka soda, and vodka tonic classics. Follow the adventure on Instagram at @DrinkAllHands and try these bar-strength cocktails for yourself at the next game. All Hands, damn fine cocktails. Proud sponsor of Rice Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you've got to park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The parking spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Acme Oyster House. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Back at Acme Oyster House. Thank you all for coming out. A wonderful crowd here tonight. Have some other onlookers watching some good football, some Astros baseball. Josh Piercy coming up next segment. And then we have defensive coordinator Brian Smith, joined now by Ikena Chuku of our Rice Owls. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, cannot complain one bit, especially after those wins. Feeling a lot better on victory weeks. Captain Obvious first question, right? How does it feel different compared to other weeks? Yeah.
I mean, I can't deny it. It definitely felt great. It felt like as it should be. Like we knew we are the type of team that can win these type of games and like win not just by a close game, but like at least by 2 scores. But Coach Bloomgren says treat winning and losing as harsh as they are. So we have to understand that no matter what happens, we have to attack every week the same.
Coach said some of this in his segment just now about you. You're so versatile. You've played all over that line. How is that attributed to your well-roundedness, being able to play? Now, you have your natural positions, like he was saying, that next level you'll play there. But how has that led to your development?
Yeah, it definitely led me to just be confident in my techniques all around. Because coming into college, I thought I just wasn't a interior guy, but I started Coach Calhoun basically he baptized me to playing 3 technique. Then I started playing those and not only found that I could that I'm athletic enough to play it. It's also sometimes fun. I told Josh and you sometimes I just prefer playing those on when we go penny because it's just sometimes it just gets more exciting when I get to play those.
Yeah, a little nastier underneath, kind of hitting just bum rushing the center, whatnot. What's this path been like? Coach mentioned some of your path, and for the audio version, I know it's been in print and you've talked about it in other settings, but how do you make your way from big Kansas City here to Rice? Discuss, I know it's a few years ago, but that recruiting path and what you've enjoyed about Rice.
Yeah, it was a really just awesome journey. Like, so yeah, it started from high school. Like, I was just, I tried my hardest to like get a college scholarship. Cause like not a lot of people from my high school really got one in the past, but I just, I trust the process. Like, I guess at the point I was just like focused on just becoming better, like find ways I could improve. Cause I wasn't even sure like D1 was like even achievable, but I just kept on doing what I could and end up here at Rice.
Did you always, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you always play D-line, or do you?
Yeah. Actually, I started football in 8th grade when I was I was a right tackle or left tackle. And then in high school, that's why I started, I was like, you know what? Actually, so I tried to play safety when I first got to high school. But then our coach, he grabbed me by the collar and was like, yeah, you don't belong. And that's how I became a D lineman.
So you probably weren't 6'4", 269 then, but still a bigger lad, right?
Yeah, I'm still like maybe like 6'3". I'm still just like a tall, skinny kid. So they're like, probably not safety. Like you'll find yourself at a defensive end. Yeah.
So how much weight have you gained? It's good weight, obviously, playing on the D line since you got here.
Yeah, since I got here, I was probably like around 240-ish.
Okay.
I was 240. Now I'm 270. So yeah, it came on quick. Like at first I got here, I was like I got a survey through. I was like, this stuff was pretty good. I thought I was like a 5-star restaurant every day. But like, it definitely got old like after a few months. But I still found my way to like build like good clean weight and try to get. I'm almost looking like Josh Piercy one day.
But can that happen with any of us, right? That can't happen, right? No. And like you're joking during one of the breaks, that last break, that I mean, you got to find the best calories there. So you can pack it on, like the rest of us, that it just goes straight to our hips, right? You can just plow away whatever Coach Straub says, right?
Yeah, somewhat. Like sometimes I got my time to indulge, but sometimes it's like, okay, let me dial it back because I look for my micronutrients.
What are you studying at Rice? What was your major?
Yeah, I'm majoring in kinesiology and I'm minoring in entrepreneurship.
Okay. So what have you enjoyed most about Rice? Now this fourth year, number 4, right?
My 5th year.
Yeah, 5th year. Okay.
Yeah. The number one thing I enjoyed most about Rice was the people. Definitely like just met some of the coolest people since I've been at Rice. I was like, since I got like here at freshman year, I was trying to make as many friends as possible. And I feel like I did that. I was like, I got the Black Student Association shirt right now. Just meeting like amazing people in my classes and just building a lot of good relationships.
What's your college?
Sid Richardson.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Bob.
So.
There you go. You're a Sid Rich guy. Got other Sid Riches in here? Any? No.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I got the Sid Rich because I remember like there was summer I walked past the college. I was like, I wish I was in there. I showed up, I was there, and like I love to because like just the way that the building is set up, it's like it just influences like a good culture like take place like so because like there's an elevator that everybody has to go through and like each floor has its own like little like living room basically, and it's just like makes you like want to be comfortable with the people you live with.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the Black Student Association because we've had state events on a broadcast a couple of times. I interviewed Rodrigo Barnes, and with them getting recognized, I had to ask this since you brought that up. What did that mean? Because I know they talked to the team. I believe they said during the week.
Yeah, it's just we actually what it means
because 50 years ago that was recognized that they broke the color barrier at Rice. So that had to have been special hearing from them. What was that like?
Yeah, I just think it's like definitely like it's awesome to look at because like, I've like met with like other alumni. Like they talk about their experiences like at Rice, like even like maybe like 30 years ago, how like just like the culture was like different and like how it's like they have to battle like all the stereotypes and all the barriers. Is like I know as one alumni I talked to, Donald Bauer, he's saying like he played in like the 80s and there was only like 25 Black people on the entire university. That's including the athletes. I was like, wow. So just like it's really cool, like understand like what people went through to like make everything that we're going through possible.
All right, I saved these towards the end to try to make you blush a little bit, but preseason Lombardi Award watch list, Senior Bowl watch list, and a couple big community service award preseason watch list. How has it been trying to deal with all that hype? But I remember you telling me right before the season started, you're like, okay, we had that, but you just try to block it out. Is that still the case? How's it been trying to manage that?
Yeah, just like like I said, there's just blocking it out and just like understand like I mean, those like how Coach Bloom says, like those are like imposters too. Because like it's all about how I performed this year. Like all that's based on like what I did last year. So none of that is gonna none of that's gonna like make me play better. It's all about what I do during practice and my preparation and training. So that's what I'm gonna focus on.
And nominated for the Community Service Awards. What community services do you do, and what inspires you to do that?
Yeah. So like I guess off the top of my head, like one of them was Out Loud Dance. I got just the opportunity to like help some special needs kids with the church nearby, and just like spend time with them and like basically teaching them how to dance. So it's like those little things that I just like would see in like my email and like replies around, and I'd be like, I want to participate in it, just like not even to get anything out of it, not for volunteer hours, just like to just be there and like help people and just like have fun doing it. Because like just in these situations, like these people like definitely get neglected. So I would like to be that person to like like who goes out of the way to help out any way they can.
Yeah, nothing like working with kids, is there?
Yeah,
just it puts it all in perspective. All right, Ken, I talked my trash earlier. I don't know if you remember our preseason talk. You're a big Kansas City guy. I've had a few Texas barbecue meals go through this nice hulking physique you have in front of you. You're the guest. I'm not going to talk any noise here, but Kansas City barbecue, Texas barbecue, lots of good barbecue. I mean, it's all great, but
not always great.
Okay, all right.
But I think I would definitely like I've like tried barbecue around. I've only been like really in Kansas City and like Houston. But I hear that there's some good places in Houston, like the Pit Room you talked about earlier. It's pretty good. I've been there. Spring Creek, people hyped that up to me, but I was like, it's not as good as what we got in Kansas City. But like, think about Kansas City barbecues, like Sunday mornings, like you walk into like any like popular barbecue spot, the line's going outside the building. So yeah, that's how you know like it's serious up there.
All right, I'll get you an off-season list. We got a few, but yeah. Hey, congrats on everything. You're awesome, and what a great representation of Rice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ken Nachukwu of our Rice Owls. We have Josh Piercy, the model, coming up next. Back at Acme Oyster House. More of the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar. We're talking spokes oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is sleeping. We oysters like our pets. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
Doubletree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the medical center, the museum district, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the medical center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the Doubletree by Hilton Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you do a group rate or 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Hey, it's JP here to tell you that, yes, there's more Rice Owls content out there for you to consume. Subscribe and download the official podcast of Rice Athletics, Rice Owls Insider. Rice Owls Insider provides a unique new look at a variety of head coaches, players, and other integral voices inside the Rice Athletics department. Plus, you can find archived coaches shows as well. For the best in Rice Owls content, subscribe to Rice Owls Insider, the official podcast of Rice Athletics. Available on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
You're listening to the latest on Owls football with the head coach, Mike Bloomgren. Now, let's go back inside Acme Oyster House.
Yes. Welcome back here at Acme Oyster House. Just a couple JPs here talking some Rice Owls football. Josh, Piercy, JP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People on the team call me JP, sometimes Piercy.
Yeah. So before the model, for the Adonis, it's always been JP, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're smiling, and we had recently, we'll talk about the viral video you were a part of too, but any of that make you comfortable? You said your mom really likes and gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, my mom, she was one of my biggest supporters. Anytime she hears my name called in any type of way, she gets ecstatic. Yeah, so she loves all of it.
Yeah, mom is happy, everybody's happy, right?
Absolutely.
As Coach mentioned his segment a couple of segments ago, you were voted co-captain now. If you can remember, go back when you found out how special, what was the moment like, and what does that mean to go out? And that's a big deal because we're always announcing you right before the coin toss.
Oh, it was almost like an out-of-body experience, like especially being a young guy coming in, like having that recognition from my peers and my teammates. Like it was one of the greatest honors I could ever ask for. I think it was a testament just that they're watching and just understanding that role. And I'm still learning every day being in that role. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of growth from it. And I feel like the more days I get into it, the more comfortable I get into it. It was just the experience and the honor of it. I couldn't ask for anything more from my teammates.
We did an off-season feature with Trey Schumann, another one of your, obviously, D-line teammates and co-captains. I asked him this, I'll ask you. What does leadership mean on and off the field?
Like I kind of like I said before, like there are people watching, so like understand like how you move. That like team is going to be watching, leading by example, leading with your voice. Something I'm trying to get better at with every day. Just understanding is like everything you do is basically done almost under my fine guys. So just being able to be that example, and so your teammates can fall behind is really just understanding that, so you can lead your team into the right path.
So you were giving me a New Jersey geography lesson earlier. Morristown, New Jersey. How do you end up from close to Philly down to big Houston, one big city to another? How explain that and what that's been like?
That's a crazy story. Like out of high school, I played probably almost every position you could think of: wildcat, quarterback, like linebacker, safety, running back. Just really, and I really didn't move to like outside linebacker till like my junior year. And it was after that year when I started to get a lot more of my attention recruiting. And actually, I broke my ankle my senior year, so I really didn't get to play my senior years. And then Coach Smith reached out to me, started to learn more about Rice, fell in love with it, visited here. My first time in Texas was visiting Rice.
Okay.
And as soon as I got here, I fell in love with it. I feel like the opportunity that it gives you on and off the field with playing those big games that we get to play in, but also like getting that world-class education. You couldn't beat it.
So this just came to me. I'm probably done for asking it, but as a Philly, New Jersey guy, did you think we all rode horses, had cowboy hats? How did the perception of Texas and Houston change from what you might and your friends and family might have thought of there?
It was definitely eye-opening. Like the Northeast is way different than down here.
Just a bit, yeah.
A huge bit. Like. But what was cool with Houston is just the diversity and just like all the different types of people that from all different types of walks of life that you get to experience and like interact with. That was one of the best parts about it, because like where I'm from, like you really, it's not saying it's one type of person, but it's a lot less diverse than it is down here. So being able to meet all those different types of people like helped me grow and be able to expand my own knowledge, just hearing different perspectives and just meeting people from all different cultures.
The first Rice signee from the Garden State in over 30 years at the time when he signed a few years ago. So like I asked Ikenna, your studies, your classes, what have you liked, and what are you studying, graduated, or what's the path there?
I'm in my fourth year. I'm expected to graduate this year studying sports management. And really what I got from Rice, like I said, kind of like with Houston, just being able to meet like all these different types of people and just develop all these relationships, like lifelong friendships I developed here at Rice. And is like I wouldn't trade in for anything. I feel like I've been able to grow the most I've been able to, especially being far from home, like learning to live my own a little more, being a little more independent, being far from home. I feel like it has put me on the trajectory for life. I feel that a lot of other places can offer me.
I should have asked Ikenna this about you, but I'll still ask you this about him. What's it like playing, not always right by him, but sometimes on the other end? I don't understand a lot of y'all moving around like that, but what's it been like seeing him develop too?
Ikenna's a dog. I love playing with him. I remember, like he said, like coming to, like Coach Bloom alluded to, those green years beginning, like seeing him grow, seeing the whole D-line grow. But really with Ikenna is like just seeing him like really play into himself, really like him realizing how great he really is, because we all knew before, like we knew like for his days guy. You see him walk in, like, yeah, that guy's a dog. So, like, really, when he really started to realize it and started, like, playing to, like, his ability, it was like, yeah, like, this guy's going to be something serious.
Yeah, players always know first.
Yeah, exactly.
You're always the first ones to know.
Mm-hmm.
So discuss. We have to talk about this. I know you talked about it again in another setting. So that was the warm up here, but the modeling. So after the NFL career, maybe dabble in that or no?
Yeah, people say this, you never know. You never know. No. Wherever life takes you, but yeah, definitely just football right now.
But you went viral, if that's the right term. With first, what was it like wearing those the space uniforms and everything that represents, obviously, with the city?
Yeah.
And then I remember you talking at the presser to us that it was the toughest thing to keep it under wraps because y'all wanted to put it on the Instagram or Twitter or whatnot, right?
Yeah, y'all saw how great the uniforms, right?
Yeah.
To me, those are some of the best uniforms in college football going around. So, like, being able to see those first and, like, put those on, be able to put that video on for the teammates, it was great because seeing the faces on all the guys when they first saw the video and the shock on their faces, like, to me, it was a tremendous opportunity to be able to do that for them. And, like, the whole meaning behind the uniforms with NASA and the speech and all that, like, and the huge just, what it actually represented. Like, being able to put that on for the city and for the team and display what it actually represented, like, it was a huge opportunity.
You going to give the jersey to Mom?
Yeah, absolutely. She already took it yesterday.
Okay. It's already been done.
Yeah, as soon as she found out they were keeping him, she took him right back to Jersey.
Hey, Mom is happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you very much, JP.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, appreciate it. And we didn't even have to fight about Cowboys Eagles here. That's good. That's good. We got along. Back more, we'll have defensive coordinator Brian Smith back at Acme Oyster House. More of the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Buy the best for less at Shoppers. Shoppers has the lowest prices on John Deere tractors. Don't leave money on the table with the best tractor at the best prices of the year. Shoppers makes it so easy with just a few clicks at our website. We dare you to compare. Go see our specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Build the tractor package of your dreams with our Build It, Price It, Own It tool. And we'll deliver your John Deere tractor for free. The best for less at Shoppers. All things John Deere.
Houston, we have a cocktail. All Hands Canned Cocktails are made with 6 times distilled craft vodka at a sturdy 10% ABV to ensure you never have to sacrifice the quality of your provisions. Now available in 6 natural flavors, including raspberry lemonade, ruby red grapefruit, cherry limeade, cranberry and vodka soda, and vodka tonic classic. Follow the adventure on Instagram at @DrinkAllHands and try these bar-strength cocktails for yourself for the next game. All Hands, Damn Fine Cocktails, proud sponsor of Rice Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you've got to park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The parking spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
We interrupt your top 40 hits to issue this alert from the Karbach Brewing Company. In our efforts to brew our distinct and popular Hopadillo IPA, we have unwittingly created a monster. A monster with an insatiable thirst. A monster that will not stop until it gets what it wants. An ice-cold Hopadillo IPA. Just like the one I'm holding in my hand. Bold, flavorful, dry-hopped, irresistible. Sweet Mary! Hopadillo. Find it before it finds you. Bravely brewed in Texas by the Karbach Brewing Company.
Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Highlighting the Owls on the gridiron. Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show.
You know it. Defensive coordinator Brian Smith with us right now. And Coach Bloomgren comes back. We preview those Cougars coming up next segment. Coach, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah. Grew up pretty good? Served you well? Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good deal. I wonder, sitting here, those last 2 segments, we try to line it up with the position coach or the coordinator, and who it's kind of a combination of things. But hearing those guys talk and then being so instrumental to your defense and seeing how far they've come and their different paths. Well, what do you think of that? What's that mean to you?
Yeah, it's great to see those guys. I mean, I've been with them all 4 years that they've been here and helped recruit both of those guys. So seeing their development and their growth to where they are now from where they've come from, it's been awesome to watch. And they're two of our hardest workers that we have in the program. They're leaders on the field as far as leader by example and vocal leaders for us. So it's great to see where they've come over the last 4 years and looking forward to them having a great year.
This profession, sports, anybody who works in sports can humble you, can bring you up, bring you down. 175 yards allowed by the defense, best in 9 years. What went into that great performance?
Well, it's been a process. Coach talks about it all the time, doing all the little things, working to get better every day. And it's good to see, the results on the field starting to come to fruition. And, it's been a testament to their hard work, the work they did in the offseason with Coach Hans Straub. And you talk about those two guys in the weight room, Ikenna and Josh, the work that they've done, the weight that Ikenna's put on, he's put on 30 pounds since he's been here. But those kind of stories and all the hard work that they do, it's good to see it pay off for them in a victory.
We know the defensive line is deep, and we've talked about them. Speak to the rest of the unit. I was talking to Coach Wilcher at practice a couple weeks ago, how deep you all at corner. We saw George and the way Gabriel Taylor's been playing down. Obviously, linebacking core. There's the 3 games. What do you think so far, defense on a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the deepest unit that we've had since we've been here, and we've been able to stay relatively healthy. And, at each position group, defensive line has always been deep since we've been here, but now on the back end, Coach Wilcher's done an awesome job with those corners. Really was impressed with the way they played last week. Coach Spencer with the safeties. We really have a 2 deep at each position where we feel comfortable with guys when they go into the game that we're not going to take a step back. And, they all play hard. They play fast. They know what they're doing. A lot of those guys have been in this system for the last, 3-4 years. And it makes a difference when you're confident, you know what you're doing, and you can trust the guy next to you that he knows what he's doing. You don't have to compensate and make anybody right. So, it's been good to see those guys develop, and I'm happy with our depth.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you've had a lot of these guys in like Trey Schumann for 5+ years, and you when you throw new things at them, it doesn't seem like it's as big a task anymore as that would have been the end of year 1 or year 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, now we'll add a few new wrinkles here and there every week, but a guy like Trey, Ikenna, they've probably seen it already because it's a huge library of defenses that we have, and we kind of just pick and choose what we want to do each week, and a lot of it is recycled material, just doing it all over again. So those guys, they pick it up fast, and it's fun to see them teaching the younger guys, the right things to do and how to prepare. And, it's like having extra coaches on the field because they've been here so long and they know the system so well. And that's one of the great things about being at Rice. You got really smart kids. I mean, I've been at other places and they can grasp concepts a lot faster than a lot of other places that I've been, and it's awesome to have that.
Had Coach Tuiasosopo sitting in your chair last week, and I asked him about his coaching inspiration, his motivation. I know you come a little bit from that Don Brown coaching tree from the past, right? Like we've talked about in past years. So is he the main one, or who would you say got you? And obviously the ties to Coach Harbaugh up north, but who, or maybe it was before you knew some high school coach, who got you thinking you'd want to be a coach?
Yeah, I would say my high school coach, George Kosanovich, Concord High School, Wilmington, Delaware. He had a big influence on me just in terms of molding young men and being an example. He was a great example for me growing up. He was probably the biggest influence early on, and Coach Brown as well. He was my defensive coordinator in college and gave me my first job in coaching. I lived at his house for a few months starting out, getting paid a little money, working a lot of hours. Just my philosophy on coaching, a lot of that stems from him. just being aggressive, playing a lot of man-to-man, just the general philosophy, and he's taught me so much. I'd probably say he'd be the biggest football X and O influence, along with Rex Ryan and the system that we used when I was in New York with the Jets. He had a big influence on me just in terms of scheme and moving players around and kind of using the same concepts but using players in different positions. So those guys probably had the biggest influence. Coach Harbaugh definitely was an influence as far as just philosophy of football. You get better at football by playing football, high reps and doing things over and over again, and just how to organize things. I learned quite a bit from him. Eric Mangini was a big influence on myself as well as Coach Bloomgren, just in terms of situational football and the things that we talk about. Learned a lot, when I first got to New York with the Jets and offensive football as well as just overall general knowledge about situational football. So a ton of influences in my 20 years of coaching.
Fascinating. A little bit of rivalry coming up on Saturday, the really long road trip down to the Cougars. Obviously, you and I watch games a lot differently, but they've got Toon, the quarterback, back, and Dale, the receiver, but an offense that can still put some points on the board. What are your initial thoughts on their offense?
Yeah, I mean, they're very athletic. We played against them, a lot of the same guys last year, skilled position-wise. Dale's an awesome player. You got to know where he's at all times. He can take a short, screen pass and take it to the house. So we got to account for him for sure. They got a few new guys up front on the offensive line, still kind of gelling there. Toon, he's got great vision and playmaking ability. He can throw it as well as run it. So we have to account for him anytime you're playing a quarterback that's multifaceted like that presents different problems for you. So we've got our hands full. They do a great job with their scheme. They've been in the same scheme for a while now, and they've got some versatility in terms of what they do. We have to be prepared for a lot of different things, and we got our hands full with that.
Thanks for the time. Always learn something. Appreciate it.
All right.
Defensive coordinator Brian Smith of our Rice Owls. We'll preview more of those Cougars coming up next. Back at Acme Oyster House, more of the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics. Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is here. Howdy is an ice cream shop in Katy, Texas that makes ice cream in-house and has a unique mission to employ individuals that are differently abled. Stop by and enjoy some ice cream. With every scoop you buy, you help support employment for special needs. Coming to Rice Athletics venues in the fall.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the Talking Spokes Oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is sleeping. We oysters like our beds. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char-grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Acme Oyster House. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
You know it. We are back here at Acme Oyster House. One final segment previewing those Houston Cougars with Dunleavy family head football coach Mike Bloomgren, the 44th meeting coach, the 41st to decide the Bayou Bucket. I know you a little well enough to know you can't wait to get a hold of that bucket, right? Like you've said, previewing other games, there's how much does having a trophy on the line mean to the added meaning of this one?
Yeah, something my old boss used to say is anytime you're in a trophy game and you win it, it's tangible evidence of a job well done. And that's exactly what we're going for. We want to bring that trophy home.
So they fell to Kansas this past week, but 2 wild overtime games to start the season, beating UTSA in a crazy game, and then losing out in Lubbock. So still a lot of offensive firepower, even though they've lost those 2 games, right?
Yeah, lots of offensive firepower. You heard Brian talk about them and who they are. I mean, so much of it goes through Clayton Toon. Like when he's on, he's hard to deal with. He makes great decisions. You forget that he was a track kid in high school that runs a sub 1100, so he's a lot faster than you believe he is or think he is. And so he's dynamic. Another one of their guys that's a difference maker is the running back, number 4. He's also their second leading receiver. So the ball's going to him a lot. He's dynamic. We got to do a good job containing him. And as Brian said, their offensive line is just developing. They're starting to gel. But we got to make sure between guys like Ikenna and Josh Piercy, they don't get a chance to gel, certainly not this game. And that's going to be the charge there, and making Clayton as uncomfortable as we can, because I do think he's really talented. So that's a big challenge. And then the thing I think everybody talks about when you talk about that team across town is their offense, but their defense is spectacular, and or at least it was last year. They had 4 guys drafted off that defense, I believe, and doing some really cool things, and they play extremely hard. I think Doug Belk is doing an amazing job with their defense. He's a guy that stepped into that role and has been awesome as a recruiter, and he's been awesome across the board, honestly, with how he's scheming people up. Now, they're not getting the same defensive results right now that they got in the past, but they've also played a few good teams, and certainly Kansas's offense is, I think, had the biggest jump in college football this year in terms of their scoring output.
Yeah, and they were just reminding myself of they're the best third down defensive team
in the country.
Yeah, in the country last year.
Yep, sure.
You've been so electric on third downs this year. That's obviously third down the key down, right?
Yeah, you make a lot of money on third down, and then certainly when we can get into the red zone, an opportunity to score points and light up that scoreboard.
They've got a Pearland young man, Derek Parrish, who does not look like a young man. He plays like an old man. Defensive end number 0 stands out, doesn't he? He had like 4.5 sacks or 6 tackles for a loss, something weird like that against Tech. Just a man-child, huh?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Him and number 9, Nelson Caesar, I think is his name. But those 2 guys there's something called the Havoc Index. That's something that's not talked about much except for these analytics companies. And he's basically creating havoc on out of every 8 plays he's in, and that's a terrible number as you're about to go against him. So we got to have a great plan for him and make sure we understand where he is at all times, and then make sure our matchups are good and give our kids a chance to go out there and win, and that will give us our best chance to go out there and win, which is exactly what we intend to do.
A perfect way to end it. The fun is in the winning, and people like having fun. So let's keep it up, Coach. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Sounds
it.
good, bud.
Dunleavy family head football coach for Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren. Thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. Our great guest on that D line, the other JP, Josh Piercy, Ikenna Ichuku, and DC Bryant Smith. For Walter here and Ashley back at 540 North Trade in Winston-Salem. I'm JP Heath. Have a great night. God bless. Go Owls Rice fight. We'll talk to you across town coming up on Saturday. This is Rice, the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the Mike Bloomgren Show, live from Acme Oyster House. Acme Oyster House, the best little oyster